Okay, today we are going to learn about forms. Okay, forms are used for users to actually fill up data online. So in order to create forms, you need to have a form tag. Okay, whenever you open, you immediately close the form tag. Okay, inside the form tag, you need to put a few properties, but for now we are only going to use one. Alright, so for now we are going to use name. So whenever you have a form, you need to give a name for your form. So let's say you have 3 groupings of forms in one document. Each of the form should have unique name. Unique name meaning the names must be different. Alright, so in this case now I'm going to name it as maybe register form. Okay, I'm going to use short forms. REG is for register, FRM is for form, but it's not wrong for you to use the long way of doing it. Okay, so now let's create a text box. A text box is a normal box that you can write. Okay, so let's create a paragraph first, and whenever you want to create a text box, you have to open the input tag. Alright, the input tag is it doesn't have any closing tag, so whenever you want to close it, you close it this way. Alright, so inside the input tag, give a type, meaning the one that we are going to create is just a text box. Okay, so the type will be text. That's it. Give a name. So let's say this particular text box is for me to gather information about the name of a member. Okay, so what I do is I just give it something like this: mem underscore name. Alright, so it's up to you. You can use underscore, you can join it together, but please do not give a space, because later on when you're using it for JavaScript or PHP or any kind of scripting, you'll have difficulties. So make sure no space. Okay, give it a name. Okay, now save this and then you can refresh. This is what you'll get. So it's just a text box whereby you can fill up things. So easy. But now the problem is you don't know what you're supposed to fill up. Okay, so by right in front here, you just tell the user what they're supposed to fill up. So maybe name. Okay, you can do it this way. Alright, so when you save this and then you refresh, this is what you'll get. At least now the user will know what am I supposed to fill up. Okay, there's some other properties that you can actually put inside this particular tag. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the next line so that you can see everything clearly. Alright, so I'm going to do it this way. So whatever properties, I'm just going to put it here. So one of the property is type. Okay, this one is for you to state what kind of box you want, and then you have a name. Okay, the next one, maybe I want to put a size for the text box. So let's say I put 100 meaning it can fit 100 characters. Okay, save this and then refresh. You'll get a longer, if I make the browser bigger, you'll get a longer text box, so you can type many things inside and everything can be seen clearly. Alright, so now just to make sure that we can see the output clearly, I'm going to make it slightly shorter, maybe 60. Okay, this is better. Now next, that is the size. But if you see clearly here, right, if I go on typing, if I go on and on and on, let's say the person's name is very long, can you see that there's movement? This is not so good, okay, because you can't see everything in one view. So usually we will limit the content, not the size, okay. So what you can do is you can use max length equals to, maybe if the size is 60, you want to limit to 40. Alright, so let's see the output now. Refresh, okay, and then let's type and see what happens. So we can only fit 40 characters. So this is the max that you can go. So at least when you have this, right, you can clearly see the content. You don't have to scroll through the text box. Okay. Alright. Another property that you can have is placeholder. Alright, placeholder. And you can put whatever you want in this particular placeholder. Let's say you can put something like key in name here. Okay, let's see what happens. Right, save and then refresh. Okay, can you see that? Key in name here. Here is the same thing that you put. Basically, placeholder actually is for giving the user a clue what they're supposed to fill up in the text box. Okay, so that are the 5 types of properties that you can put inside your input tag. Okay, and by the way, whenever you have a placeholder, right, even though you can see the hint here, the clue here, once you put in your cursor and once you start typing, it will be gone. Once you remove, it will be visible again. So that is just a hint for the user. This is a text box. Okay, you can actually do the same for a password box. Okay, so this is a password box. Everything is the same. Okay, maybe I want to change the name, so maybe member password. Okay, it can be any name. For passwords, the size might be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to put like 30. And the max length, meaning how much I can put in, maybe slightly lesser than 40, so maybe 20. So I can see 30, but the max that I can go is 20. So I can put here key in password here. But the thing is, if I save this, okay, let me change this as well, so it should be password. So if I do the changes here, let's see what happens. Refresh. Okay, so I have the name here. Okay, let's say Usha, and then let's say my password is, let's say it's very secret. I don't want anybody to know about it. So I put Usha. How come I can see my password? By right, when you key in password, it should be something like a star shape or dotted shape, right? Okay, let's go back to the code. Okay, for the type, whenever you want to use for password purpose, change it to password. That's it. Okay, change it to password. So if I save this and then I refresh, so when I key in my name and then I key in the password, can you see the difference? It will be a different symbol. So this is better for a password box. Okay, now finally I need to have a button. So let's put a button. So I can put P input type. Okay, there's 3 buttons to choose from. It can be button, it can be reset button, it can be input button. It can be it should be submit, button, and also reset. 3, yeah? Submit, reset, and button. So you can put button, give it a name. So for buttons, I always have something like save button. This is the name. Okay, so next I will have the value. So the value will be, click here, okay, and then that's it. So I'm going to put it in the next line so that you can see everything. Alright, so when I save this, I refresh, I'll get a button. Did you notice whatever that I put in the value, especially for button, button, reset and submit, it will be displayed on the button. So if you don't have this, if I remove this altogether, okay, let me remove this, I save and then I refresh, the button is there, but I don't know what the button is for because there's no word on top of it. So it is very important for buttons to have that value. Okay, so let me just undo. Okay, done. Alright, another thing, this value you can even use it for input tag for text or password. For example, let me put a value here. Okay, for my name, let me put a value here. I'll just add on. Let's say I put something like that. What is going to happen? Refresh, nothing. Okay, because there's nothing here. Alright, so if I want a default value to be printed here, once the page loads, I want the value to be there straight away. So what I can do is I can put here Ali. Okay, let's see what happens. Refresh, automatically Ali will be there. Okay, so if you want something to be entered by default, to be already there, so what you can do is you can put value. For input, type text or password, the same thing. But when you put value for a button or a submit button or a reset button, it means that that will be the word displayed on the button. Okay, so for this lesson, you know how to use the form tag, you know how to use input type text, input type password, and one button.